we're live. So,
Well, it's going to
howdy
go downhill
all.
from here.
Huh?
It's only going to go downhill from here.
It's only going to go downhill from here. We have a grand total of 0 viewers, and I think both the viewers that show up will very much enjoy this stream. Let me see if it pinged everyone.
It takes a while, I've noticed.
Oh, it does. Okay, interesting.
At least for me.
Well, this is the super special secret part of the stream, and if you hold on, let's see here. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, we've actually got 3 people here. Hi, 3 people. How are you doing?
One of them is me.
Oh,
so
well,
it's 2 people.
Hi, 2 people, and one of whom is, or 2 of whom hopefully are not Drew. Go ahead and make yourself known in the chat so that we know who you're here. Oh, yes, Mr. Lepanto. Whoa, you spend way too much time online. Let's see here. And now, oh, there we go. All right. Now we should be getting some people in. So, it's been a while since we've been on YouTube.
Yeah, it feels weird. I used to be okay to just hit live randomly and kind of stumble through it, and then I went live for the first time in a long time yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, everybody!" I didn't really know what to do.
Yeah.
And now we get to do that again together.
Yeah.
So
No,
fun.
and it's I know for me personally, I've been putting a lot more effort into my X account than YouTube, and made some changes across all my platforms to where I changed my handle. Everything is now Catholic Kyle. So it's hey, brother Andrew, how's it going? Mr. Lepanto and Batman Incorporated. Oh, and Happy Random Art is here. So yeah, we've been I just
less XY over here.
Yeah, we are less XY. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It's because you can see our faces. Why we've lost our X appeal. But yeah, so anyway, howdy y'all. It's been a while since I've been live on YouTube. Got 8 people watching. That's fantastic. So welcome. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty laid back stream. A lot of this is just going to be kind of giving you updates on stuff that we've been up to behind the scenes, because we've been up to a lot. And then we're just going to kind of go over some news that we've noticed on X. I think as of right now, Cory Booker is looking like he's going to break the filibuster record.
I'm watching it on the side.
Yeah.
He's like less than an hour away.
Okay.
So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Oh, yeah. Oh, look, Thursday's here. So he dropped the lonk. Yeah, so no, because if we drop links, they're just going to leave the stream. We're not doing that.
Yeah, Thursday will give us updates on how close we are. How close are we? I was saying 45 minutes now, probably. He'll let us know in the chat. Hopefully.
Cactoid Jim. What's up, man? All right. So I think one of the biggest things that happened on X is the ChatGPT 4.0.
That's what I've been spending all my time doing for the past 4 days.
I know.
It's bad.
And a solid maybe 15% of it is fit for public release.
You know what? I'm just trying to find ways to destroy AI from within, and I think I found a couple, but I'd have to ruin my life to make it happen. So I don't know if I'm willing to do that.
Yeah. So basically what Drew is saying is that there are ways to break the system without it knowing that you broke the system. Wow.
I call it weaponized prompting. So you can essentially think of an image that AI would not let you make because it's politically incorrect. And then if you reframe that in slightly center left or radical left terms that it would agree with, you can trick it into making politically charged content that it would otherwise not let you make.
Yeah, you just have to describe it.
Fun.
It's interesting. I wanted to do this was in our group chat with me, you, and Thursday, where we were, I was trying to make the Sam Hyde yelling into the microphone. I was trying to make that into a Muppet, but it wouldn't let me do that. It was like, no, this violates our content policy. And I'm like, okay, well, give me an image that that looks like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to zoom in a little bit. Just keep talking.
Okay, yeah. So it's like, give me an image of somebody who looks just like Sam Hyde, but make sure he has a chest tattoo on that says not Sam Hyde, and then it worked. And make that into a Muppet, and it was kind of wild. So,
yeah,
but
yeah, you can pretty much you can't do everything. Like there was one I made where it gave me a choice. I was trying to make it do two things to the image, and it was like, that would be bad. You can only pick one of them. And I was like, that's kind of funny that it's like, if I do both of them, it's going to be received poorly and against your intentions, which really, was opposite day. But then I was like, all right, well, I got to choose one, I guess. So you can't get away with everything. But I had some that were, the one I sent you, you're like, that doesn't work. And I sent you that one. It works, doesn't it? It works pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, although now I think like the newest trend is making action figures.
Oh, really? That's
funny.
Yeah,
I've seen like the Father Mike Schmidt's action figure or something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys just post in the chat like something like, hey, go generate this image and I'll post it in there. And if it generates it fast enough, I'll throw it up on the screen or something like that.
Yep. It's pretty good.
But yeah, why did everybody choose Studio Ghibli's art style overall? I don't know. It's the internet, and sometimes things just happen. So yeah. Anyway, real quick, one of the reasons that I'm doing this stream right now is to help out our buddy Dom Damaso, who runs the Logos Project. Basically, we're trying to get him to the Jubilee for Digital Missionaries in Rome this summer. He's already got the registration. Which the registration includes lodging, food, transport, and everything. The only thing it doesn't cover is the plane ticket to Rome, and that's the most expensive part. So if you guys are interested in helping Dom out, check out the link in the description below. I've got a Give Send Go. We're trying to raise $2,000, and that will pretty much just cover the plane ticket. Nobody's making money off of this. Nobody's getting rich. It's literally just to do that. The reason why I'm specifically helping Dom out, and actually Dom probably wouldn't have gone had it not been for my suggestion, but the church is hosting the Jubilee for Digital Missionaries, and that's part of like this whole synodal listening thing. It's so that the church can listen to these digital creators and, like, I guess, help form like how the church is going to guide the digital sphere. Whenever I heard that, my thought immediately turned to Dom Damaso, and because he can speak the theologian's language, but he's also a creator. He knows how to speak the language of the church. I thought that it would be really, really good to make sure that he's there. So, let's see here. Oh, okay. What is this? Can we take a moment to call out Fuentes garbage people like Pine Sap that are joining in and slandering Trent Horner on X? They don't realize they're asking for their family to get the same treatment. I guess I would push back on the garbage people, but those behaviors are obviously unacceptable.
But we shouldn't respond to them in kind either.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like, are they garbage people? No, they are. This is one of the most scandalous things about Christianity, is that everybody's made in the image and likeness of God and therefore is deserving of love.
It's inconvenient sometimes.
And his mercy. I think a lot of people don't understand that. And Christopher, I'm not saying that you don't understand this. This is more of just like a reminder for the audience in general. So yeah, but that kind of behavior is unacceptable. It really is. There's no excuse for it. It's
Belly is DMing me, and I should just not look because he's making me laugh.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's. I guess if you want me to condemn the behavior, yeah, I'll condemn that in the strongest possible terms. Whatever.
I don't even know what they're doing, to be honest. So I'm not going to comment on it too much.
I know what they're doing, and I'm not going to dignify it with airtime here. So, but yeah, no, Christopher Tucker, you've got a really good point that those kinds of behaviors are unbecoming for people who are supposedly Catholic. So, yeah. But anyway, if anybody else has anything, is Nick Fuentes some kind of Pokemon? I think so. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, so we're trying to get Dom to Rome. So if you're interested, link in the description to help him get there. It's we can do a lot of good stuff there. So yeah, what else has been going on X?
Oh man, the usual, like someone posts something and it becomes a thing, and then it's like a day later, why is it still a thing? That's been going on. A lot of Protestant coal posting, and then I think that's starting to turn a corner though, because there's a lot more Catholic accounts starting to go, like we should just not even dignify these people with a response.
Yeah.
That's kind of going on.
Pro tip. I'm gonna remove you here because I'm gonna talk directly to the audience. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. Do you want to know what the most harmful thing that you can do to any social media personality? Like, if you wanted me to disappear off of social media, it's not leaving nasty comments. It's not hitting the dislike button. No, the most damaging thing you can do is to hit that little X button on the tab and just close out, because these social media these social media things, they track what you're doing. They're tracking like your session time or whatever. If they recognize that your content got somebody to leave the site, they're going to downplay that. So if you really want to bury somebody, click on their stuff and then leave the website. And I just lost a viewer by saying that. So yeah, anyway, somebody didn't want to know the secret. But yeah.
I'm so glad that you took me off air when you did. You'll see. All of you guys who are DMing me and texting me things right now to make me laugh, I don't appreciate it. This is sabotage. Yeah. Now
what
we saw
Josiah
it.
Sent.
Yeah, what Josiah sent. That's
I'm gonna share it.
You took me off air right when that came through, and I just started howling. I was trying hard not to laugh and put my mic on.
I just need to make sure that I can share it and not share like the whole chat, because then we're all going to prison.
Download it to your desktop and share that.
Yeah, but I'm a boomer, so
That's right. That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Add to photos library. There we go.
Don't worry, Belly. We're putting it up on the air for better or worse.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here.
Yep. Oh man. Happy Random Art. You can definitely draw art for Dom. I think Studio Ghibli Dom drawn by hand would be really cool. So Thursday just generated this of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did you get to be the Antifa super soldier and I had to be like
from Colorado?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Fair. Real.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm from the F-150 side of the state, not the Subaru side. That's important clarification.
Yeah, go ahead and ask ChatGPT 4.0 to draw you the stereotypical Subaru driver, and see what happens. We can put
that one up on air. That one's not that bad.
Okay, well then you can present, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Where do I have all these? Let me see. I probably have them in my photos as well.
Yeah.
I'll just make sure I pull that one up full screen because I don't want to show all the other ones.
Oh, Jen, I'm so sorry.
Let's see here. I'll minimize this too.
Which side is the sob side? That'd be the sad side because you're totally sobbing.
Share screen.
There we go.
How do I choose which screen it's going to be? No, I want to do this one. Okay.
There we go. Let's see here. Oh yeah. So this is what was the prompt? It was your average Subaru
owner has a interaction with your average F-150 owner. Draw it based on your perceived, like their perceived political views. Something like that.
Yeah. So that's what it drew.
It's so good.
And the more you look at it, the better it gets.
So funny, yeah, dude. So good. I'm trying to think if I have any other inflammatory stuff that I can pull up. Don't share my screen yet. I'll find another one.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll let you know, because some of these are bad.
Yeah. So let's see here.
We did. This one's fun. We could bring this one up. We posted this on X today.
Obviously today is a very special day because today we announced that Dr. James White is going to be coming to the Catholic Creator Conference.
I love that it tried to make their logo too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Father John, you're not on Twitter, so you've missed like so much of this.
Oh, we should make a Ghibli Father John.
Oh, we should. Dude, you do that while I kind of
All right, I'll get a picture of him. He's like,
yeah.
what?
So, but yeah, so we're having Dr. James come speak at the Catholic Creator Conference. He's going to be pointing out the errors of Catholicism, and it's you basically, if he convinces anybody, then it means that they were never Catholic to begin with, and you know, and we didn't want them there. So, yeah. But obviously, if you believe me, please check the date. So, but yeah. Yeah, the screen's visible in frame, but we know that that's happening. Let's see here.
Fine. It's not a huge deal. I have my Twitter account up on purpose over there, so I don't.
Yeah,
share
I guess
anything.
one of the big things that has happened fairly recently is the reaction to the group photo.
Yeah, that's big.
Which I'll be honest, like whenever I first saw that, I'm like, okay, this is kind of nonsense. This is an overreaction. But
how
after
deep that rabbit hole went.
Yeah, well then, like, you know, after talking to you and one other person that I don't know if I don't know if he would appreciate us sharing who we were talking to, but he kind of pointed out that there's some other issues. It's like, okay, obviously there's nothing wrong with a group photo, but it's kind of like the dynamic behind it that like led to that's the real problem. So I'm still working my way through that to figure out, because there's clearly, I think there's some merit to the outcry, but I'm still like 98% confident that was just a massive overreaction. But not from like, you know, it's like, you guys don't have a legitimate point. It's like, I think you have a legitimate point, but you're blowing this. You're coming across as unreasonable, and you're going to make people less likely to listen to you. So, yeah.
It's almost done.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was talking to Thursday, and you know, whenever you get Josiah Thursday, whatever you want to call him, on something that he's passionate about, it's, I don't know, like he brought up some good points, some things that I didn't think of before. So one guy I'd really like to talk to is actually Mike Pantile about that. I think that he's I think that he would have some good input on that. Okay, I see that you have it up now. So, Father John, do you want to see what we're talking about whenever the we're going to Ghibli style? If you've ever seen any of these, if you want to see the Studio Ghibli movies like Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, whatever, this is what we're talking about.
I just found this from your website. It's a headshot of you, and then we turned it into a cartoon. It actually did a pretty good job. It took your gray hairs out, so it did you some justice there. That was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. New profile pic.
Yeah, there you go. If Thursaya. Yeah, Father John, you can show all the kids in your school that, and they'll think that it's probably the coolest thing ever. But you can connect with the youths. But anyway, because that's what they need. But yeah, so there's that. And then I guess one of the big things that's going on right now is the Pope Francis's prayer intention.
That's pretty good. We just had a whole X space on that earlier today.
Yeah. So I think we're going to start regularly hosting spaces on X for Catholic creators. So if you guys follow me on X and Drew, I'm at Catholic Kyle, and Drew is something.
At Drew the Catholic.
Yeah, at Drew the Catholic. So let me see here. Share screen. Yeah, here we go. Thursday, text me that link and I'll post it in the chat here. Okay. So today, April 1st, Pope Francis published his prayer intentions for the month of April, and it's for the use of new technologies. And he says, how I would like for us to look less at screens and look each other in the eyes more. The Pope said in a pre-recorded video released April 1st, something's wrong if we spend more time on our cell phones than with people. The screen makes us forget that there are real people behind it who breathe, laugh, and cry. He added, "It's true, technology is the fruit of the intelligence God gave us, but we need to use it well. It can't benefit only a few while excluding others." Now, that's kind of like our entire mission, what we're doing with the Catholic Creator Conference. It's kind of cool to see this kind of stuff happening, because it's like, wow, the Holy Spirit's clearly moving, and it looks like we were on board with this mission before it was like really started picking up steam. And yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Drew?
It's crazy. It's weird, but it's also weird to have that be the prayer intention, obviously in line with our mission, but on the heels of me making so much slop posting with ChatGPT. I was like, oh, yeah, keep your eyes on the ball. No, I think it's needed. I think everyone knows it's needed, right? I mean, it's like something you and I have experienced multiple times when we tell people kind of what we're up to. There's usually a sigh of relief of, oh, I'm so glad someone is doing that, you know? And I mean, I think you're right. Like, it seems clearly anyone who knows us knows that it's not our strength or efforts or excellence that's making what we're doing work so well.
Yeah.
Because if it was up to us, this it would not be going well.
Yeah.
But it is going well. And yeah, I think it's a cool thing to see the church pay attention to this, but not just pay attention to it, but like realize, like, oh, this isn't just something that should be on our radar, but like this is really important. Like, all of humanity has been permanently impacted by this new digital space that we all occupy, some of us for, far too many hours a day. And we need to have a way to evangelize there, reach people there, and, bring the church into that space without having, the people going to that space succumb to the pitfalls there. So I think it's really important. And it's good to like explore how can you make good in this space? How can you have an impact without necessarily just being black pilled on the whole thing, but also taking a real note of the dangers.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess Happy Random Art is going to be coming with us to Rome as well. So enjoying the digital missionary trip to Rome. Never going to Rome before. We
should have a Discord channel for those going if we don't already.
No, we do not, but we absolutely should.
Yeah, then go make that right now.
Yeah. So yeah, and actually, so for the Creator Conference, we're pretty limited on space on who can come, because we only have room for 80 people. And so, but the Vatican has no such requirements. So actually anybody can sign up. So if you want to come join Drew and I in Rome, you can sign up for this. I mean, obviously you got to figure out your way to Rome, which, depending on where you are, which I assume most of you are American, or at least discount American, or what I meant Canadian. Yeah. So here's a link that Josiah asked me to share. So I just posted this in the chat. This is a survey that
it made two. That's okay. You keep talking. I'll figure.
Yeah, this is a survey that Josiah put together for the Chastity Project, trying to get one big problem that we're finding in the church right now is that like young people are kind of in a really chaotic spot right now in terms of the dating scene and trying to get married. And I was talking to Mary Morgan recently about, this, and it's just like, how do we help young people? And, one of her questions was like, okay, when did you meet your wife? And it's like, I met her in 2011 at Franciscan. So it might as well have been 1953. And she's like, yeah, you're completely clueless. You don't have a single clue on what's going on. So, yeah. So part of this is what Josiah is doing. He's just kind of collecting information to see what the feel is on people's understanding of the dating scene and what things look like. And then at the end of all of that, they're going to be making all that data public. So it's going to be the good of everyone. So if you have some time, fill out the survey. It's free. Somebody asked me if you get cookies. I imagine you will. If you don't want cookies getting jammed up in your browser, I suggest you do it in an incognito tab. But anyway,
Can you please share the thing Desiree sent?
yeah. So you guys might have seen me do a face because Desiree sent another AI masterpiece.
Oh my goodness, that is so funny.
Okay, let's see here.
Oh, I'm dying, dude. I'm dying. That's
Okay,
that's
all
the
right.
funniest thing. We need to have that made. We got to. Who is the guy that we met that did the St. Michael action figures? We need to get him to do this.
Oh yeah,
We should
Let's
have him
see.
do this.
That would be fun. Okay, all right. What am I doing?
You guys are gonna love this.
It's not coming up. No, I don't want Chrome tab. There we go. All right. Yeah, Desiree made this. So the Kyle Whittington action figure. I like how it's actually like kind of true to real life. Because most of you guys who haven't met me in real life don't know that I'm actually like 5'2". So, and this is definitely a manlet, just like me. And I don't know what the stick is for, but does not include Trinitine
cigar.
Brewing Company beers.
That stick is a cigar, but the
It's a
Tridentine Brewing.
Okay.
The Tridentine Brewing part's the best because we've basically. Although he sent some to you, didn't he? No.
No,
No.
I've not been sent
Perfect.
some.
We forbid him from sending any to Kyle. We're like, you gotta send if you're gonna send beer to creators, just make sure you never send some to Kyle. And he was like,
Yeah,
okay.
so Tridentine Brewing has this wonderful habit of sending their beer to all of my creator friends, but not me. So,
Yeah, and I even said that I was gonna bring some to Seek, and then I drank them all. My bad.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
They were too good.
Yeah, thanks,
Way
bud.
too good. Way too good.
Yeah, so, but yeah. Although I guess we could kind of let the cat out of the bag on this one a little bit. We've been working with Tridentine Brewing. They're gonna be the beer supplier for the Catholic Creator Conference, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So if you haven't had their beer before, if you're coming to the conference, come on down.
You have
We're
to
gonna have a
help
bunch.
me make sure that Kyle's not allowed to actually take a sip. So if you see him open a beer and start to take a sip, you got to hit it right out of his hands. So
Yeah. So
Thursday says if you get me some, I'll drink them in front of Kyle and not let him have any.
Derek, good to see you. Does it come with a pull string that makes you say, "Kids, get off my lawn"? Fun story. So when we were moving to Steubenville, I was looking at all sorts of houses. I had my eye on a certain house. My wife had her eye on another house. I didn't want to look at it because it was still in our price range, but like I wanted the cheapest available house because I wanted to pay it off in like two years. And anyway, I was like, okay, yep, the cheap house, it's acceptable. It's going to be tight. It's not going to be great, but we could pay it off real quick. And I like that idea. And then when we went and checked out the other house, my now neighbor, spoiler alert, we bought this house. Dude, Lex, thanks for subbing and gifting.
Oh, bro, I got one
membership.
of those. How do you not do that? Because someone else that could deserve it should get it, not me.
Yeah, well, it's not like it's gonna make a difference because this channel's on life support right now. But yeah, so we had what was it? We had the so I meet my future neighbor and she warns me. She gave me a very stern warning of, if you're gonna move here, you have to be okay with kids playing in your front yard. And I was like, I'm in. So yeah, at that point, I looked the realtor, Greg Damari, which if you're looking to move to Steubenville, Greg Damari, if you're not going through Greg, you're wrong. I looked at him and I said, I ought to sock you in your jaw, because I didn't even want to go look at that house. And then we looked at it, and that's one we ended up getting anyway. So made me spend an extra like $100,000. So.
Oh, is that the house that's on? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
How close is Cory Booker Thursday? He said 20 minutes last time. He's got to be close.
Where's 15 minutes. Okay. Where's the best part of town for being homeless? All of it. Literally all of it. So downtown, actually. So Steubenville actually does have quite a bit of homeless outreach. So, I mean, obviously, no town is great to be homeless in, but you could do far worse than Steubenville. So yeah, but I support the channel because I want to keep Kyle on life support. Well, I thank you for your service.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, only been to Steubenville.
Someday we'll get to make content again. Someday.
Yeah. One day, whenever we're not so crazy busy. But yeah, like I don't know. Do you want to kind of tell them what we've got going on with Ipsum Audite?
Well, obviously we got the creator conference, which sold out in a month. That's insane. I don't know how that happened. Y'all are crazy. That's probably mostly Haley, to be honest. Haley was downright bullying people to apply, which we appreciate. It definitely works. Shout out to Haley. Yeah, so we obviously have that going on. We're just kind of wrapping up details with that. We are so part of what we want to do, like, right? So the conference is just one of the things that we want to do to support creators. But as you and I have connected with more creators, there's so many ways that we've seen that we can help creators grow. So we have a lot of things kind of in the works for that. But then also just to make this something that's more livable for you and I to do and spend our time doing, because quite frankly, like, you know, we've raised our prices this year, but it's not like the conference is making us money, right? It's more expensive
we're not.
than it was last time. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We looked at the budget recently, and it was just like, hey, we've got this much left over, and then like other things keep coming up. It's like we're not taking home any money this year.
Yeah. So like, but it's really cool that it can even pay for itself. Like, so we've been blessed to see that, because last year you legitimately spent money out of your pocket to make it happen, and then I spent money to get there to, you know, like film stuff and then help you run it and stuff. And this year, at least the costs are paid for and everyone's able, you know, the speakers are getting paid to come, which we think is just. But we're also looking at avenues like how can we serve the community, right? So we're looking at offering like marketing services, editing services, things like that, which I mean, a lot of that is stuff I already do day to day for my company. It's stuff that you've learned how to do just being involved in this space. But, you know, as we get to know everyone, we've seen opportunities to do that in ways that can help people. And so we'll start, you know, kind of plugging some of that stuff soon. And we also have, well, I don't know how much I want to say, but like one of the most valuable things I think that has been created is the Creator Corner. Not like created ever, but like in this space, like having the Creator Corner blow up like it has been wild to watch. Like I remember when there was like 20, maybe 30 people in there. Right. It was cool then, but now it's like, it's getting substantial, and there's ways. I think
there's over 100 people in there, right?
Oh yeah, there's like 130, I think. But we're looking at ways like how can we do something like this that builds more value, that actually like helps people get better at this more than just through conversation and people sharing knowledge for free. Like how can we create systems and share knowledge in a way that actually accelerates creator growth? So we're working on some stuff there. Couple courses, as people might have guessed from the survey we sent out last week. So lots of things cooking. But Veritas, Kyle, what exactly would you say you actually do here?
I find work for Drew. That's what I do.
I find work for Drew. Real.
Yeah. So, oh, look, we mentioned the Creator Corner, and Thursday immediately starts putting terrorist memes in there. Awesome. So yeah.
I have so many Chat GPT prompts I could respond with that I won't.
I don't know if Chat GPT would let you.
I already have them made.
But anyway, yeah, we've got the Creator Corner. Actually, something really cool happened today. Like there was a guy that got an editing job, like in the Creator Corner from another creator. And so it's like if you're a creator, you're looking for ways to kind of dive deeper into this. That's, you know, it's an option for you. You know, we offer this right now. Right now it's free. So if you want to jump in, come on in. There's a lot of value there. Be a part of the community. You can get some feedback. I think one of the things that we see here that happens a lot is thumbnail feedback. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've uploaded a thumbnail in this graphics help channel and people just tear it apart. And it's like, oh, that's a terrible thumbnail. And that's really bad. So yeah, if you Yeah. Oh, yeah. Haley's bullying more people into the server. Fantastic. So yeah, if you're looking
There's
to
a
do
link
that,
for the server
yeah, come on
in
in.
the chat. Come on in, fill
Yeah,
out the form that you're a creator, and we'll get you added to the creator corner portion. And you can come
absolutely.
hang out. It's pretty fun.
I think most of the
Yeah,
people here in this chat are in the server already,
that's
but
probably true.
that's
That's
fine.
probably true. Well, if that's the case, this is a question. We put out a survey last week. We're kind of working on I'll just spill the beans. We're working on a beginner creator course that's a little bit more like YouTube and podcast oriented. So there's a server link in the chat announcements for the whole server. Anyone can fill that out. We'd love your feedback just so like as we develop it, we can make sure it's the best offer possible and
Yeah.
builds the most value for people. But also like for people who are already active creators, whether you're just doing this on the side or it's full time or it's kind of in between, let us know like where do you need the most help? Where do you need the most support? What types of tools do you need to grow? And we're looking to cultivate stuff like that for all the creators in our community and really extend the value that we're offering there. So I mean honestly, like let us know. We've connected with tons of creators at different levels, and then also, I mean, at least on the technical and the production and distribution side, that's kind of my background from my other business. So we're looking to basically how can we amplify Catholic influence online, and how can we equip everyone that wants to be a part of the mission of the church online to do that better than literally everybody else. So um, anyone that has feedback or like, hey, here's what I'm struggling with, here's what I need help with, let us know. And anything in the future that we do that we can cater to that, that's definitely our goal.
I'm trying to kill Catholic Christian. So yeah.
What? I did not see the chat. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh wow.
Man.
And I got Lex to
Yeah,
enroll into
Father
AA,
John.
so that's cool.
That's right. Father, can I say that, Father John? Can I talk about that? I mean, we just kind of asked you if you'd be down, so we don't really have firm plans, but I think we could at least say it's in the works. I don't know. You let me know in the chat real quick before I just tell everybody.
Yeah. Well, I would talk about that.
Well, I'll just caveat it with that it's tentative. Like we just kind of talked with Father John about this. One thing we want to do and that we want to provide absolutely for free is a discernment course, because like one thing that's become really apparent to us is that it's not just you wake up and say, "Oh, I want to make Catholic content." You might, but at some point you realize that you really have to discern what your core mission is and develop a support system around yourself to make sure that you're spiritually healthy, that you're on track, that your work is fruitful. And so we talked with Father John, who obviously is a Jesuit, knows a lot about St. Ignatius, right? And discernment, and is also like the online priest that we all know and love. So we're going to work with him and find a time when we can write and then also create and then just publish a discernment course for Catholic creators. So like if you're someone who's on the outside going, maybe I'd want to do that, I don't know what it takes. Well, one of the first steps is seeing if that's a part of your mission, if it's a part of your calling from God. And so we want to create resources to help people really fine tune that and discern it. And Father John said he'd help us out with that. So obviously we got to write the course, film it, edit it, and then publish it. But like it's definitely on our radar as one of the first things we want to do.
Yeah. No, and that's something we definitely want to offer for free, because it's we don't want the cost to be a barrier for that, because it's just like, okay, we're gonna do this. I mean, obviously we are we want better creators, and not just like explicitly like Catholic dash content creators. We want Catholic content dash creators. That makes sense. Like I keep going back to Master Samwise because I think he's doing a really good job. Mary Morgan and her Pop Culture Crisis, these guys are not just doing apologetics, because in some ways apologetics is kind of already a very saturated field, and there's certainly room for some really exceptional people. We got, Sips with Sarah, Cameron Riker, Braden, the Catechumen. I think these guys are up and coming in the apologetic sphere, and they're doing really well. But if I'll be honest, case in point, me. I know a thing or two. I've got the chops to bat down the Jack Chick level stuff, but like I can't go toe to toe with Gavin Ortland or some of these guys, and I don't really have the time to get those. But there are some people who do really have a gift for that and really need help developing. And, this discernment course is just going to kind of help that along to like, hey, what do you want to do? Are you coming here to yell at Protestants? Well, if that's the case, then you should probably back down. But yeah. So, Drew, are you done? Posting in the chat. Do you have anything to add?
I'm trying to get Father John to fly to Montrose to film this so that I can take him fly fishing and drink whiskey with him.
Well, you got to take him elk hunting too.
Oh yeah, if he comes during elk season, I can. One of my buddies that's a really good elk hunter. We could work that out. But
yeah.
But if we go to NOLA, we get to stay in the Jesuit residence, so it's like that could be cool too.
Yeah.
I've actually never been to New Orleans, so that would be fun. Yeah, kind of. I was hearing bits and pieces what you said. I'd be honest. People were meme posting in the creator corner, and I was trying to keep my mic muted so I didn't laugh as you were making good points. But the gist of it is like most people are consuming content online a lot, and as Catholics, if we can be the ones that are the driving force behind even quote unquote non-Catholic content, that's a really good step towards pre-evangelization, which is a term I shamelessly stole from Jonathan Blevins. That's what he does on his Twitch channel. He just streams himself playing video games. He's built an amazing community. And I mean, we asked him, like, have you seen fruit from that? Like, you're not talking about apologetics. Your faith comes up when it makes sense because you're talking about your life, but you're not necessarily seeking to make that an outward goal. But what happens, and he shared tons of stories about how people have come back to the faith or to the faith the first time, in no small part just from watching his content, seeing the fruits of his life, and then passing that first threshold of conversion, which is just initial trust. Like, oh, John's a Catholic, he's a really solid dude, what's that all about? Boom, then they're down the funnel and all of a sudden they're Catholic, right? There's so many people who can do that. I think of Master Samwise as another good example, making really solid content that reaches a wide audience, that talks about stories, pop culture, movies, video games. And that's a broad audience that could reach anyone, and especially could reach people who are not even thinking about religion, much less Catholicism in specific. But all of a sudden we have a faithful Catholic who's living in line with the teachings of the church and is open to evangelism, but is doing it in this way where he's sowing the seeds in a really strategic way, right? And I mean, that's a really powerful force if we could have more Catholics doing that. So I imagine a world where, what if the best movies are made by Catholics and they're not necessarily distinctly Catholic movies? What if the best political commentary is Catholics? What if the best cultural commentary, what if the best music, the best art is all made by Catholics? And again, they're not making it Catholic by just painting a crucifix on it somewhere in the corner. They're infusing the values of the faith into their work, and people can't help but notice that. And then slowly, little by little, that starts to shape hearts and minds, and it just makes them into good soil so that when they do encounter, overt evangelism, they're more open to it. I think that's hugely important, and we want to see a lot more of that. Like seeing how many artists have joined our server lately, I'm thrilled by that, and I know I've been offending you all with my ChatGPT Ghibli posting. I apologize. I hate it as much as you do. It's just kind of fun. But I'm thrilled to see how many people in the fine arts that we have, and graphic designers and things like that. That's very important work. So
yeah. No, one thing that I kind of talk about in the content creation sphere, and actually this was a conversation that I had with Josiah about a year ago. He said something along the lines of like, when you're making, you might be a Catholic creator, but if you're just starting out, you don't need to be thinking of, who's your competition. Your competition's not me. It's not Trent Horn. It's not Matt Fradd. You're competing against Mark Rober and Mr. Beast. Mm-hmm. So, how cool would it be if we had the top creator on YouTube be a faithful Catholic? That's the kind of stuff that we're looking for. We can't just sit back and parody the culture. We had a little bit of a disagreement in the server recently because the Christian Avengers came out, and then somebody was like, okay, we should do a Catholic Avengers next. And I was just so against that, because it's like, no, because at that point we are parodying a parody. Like, we're 2 steps behind here. You know, we didn't make the Avengers. You know, Hollywood did that. Well, now they're making the parody of it, the Christian Avengers. And then if we make a parody of that, what are we doing here? You know? So I'd really like to see Catholics get back into the driver's seat of the culture. I'd really like to see, and I would really like to help. You know, I once again, I don't know if he would appreciate me saying who he is, but we've got a really promising young man in the server who's very up and coming. He's very integrated into like the greater YouTube community. And if anybody has the potential to be the next like Catholic Mr. Beast, it's going to be him.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I had a hard time at first picking that out because honestly, there's so many amazing people in the creator corner that are up and coming that I'm like, wait. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I got it figured out. But side note, Cory Booker just broke the record for filibuster, longest filibuster in American history. That's
who previously held it? Ted Cruz?
I don't know. Thursday I'll hit us with that factoid. Also, John Sorensen's in the chat. What's up, John?
Oh, John. Hey.
No, I agree with what you said. Like imagine, and not even just content creators either. Like that's really important because it's what's generating culture and driving it right now. But just business in general. Like imagine if all of the biggest businesses were primarily influenced and driven by faithful Catholics. And we don't necessarily need to start like a competitor for Apple. But like think more on the entrepreneurial level. You know, like I think about Truthfully, right? That's a really great startup. The faithful Catholics, obviously an explicitly Catholic market and outcome in mind. But like, who's to say that the best marketing companies shouldn't be run by faithful Catholics and the best service providers in as many local communities as possible? If we started doing that, taking the same mindset that we're talking about for content creators in general, but just getting the laity invested in the temporal order, whether that's through content and culture generation, or whether that's through business or politics. Obviously, there's, you know, like the domestic church, like being a homemaker is a huge part of that too. But like all of these really influential things, instead of just saying, oh man, Elon Musk is cool. Like what if we had a Catholic Elon Musk? And that's a big goal that we're not going to get to tomorrow. But if we start catechizing people well, raising our children in the faith, and pushing them towards excellence with their faith as the driver behind that excellence, I mean, it's naturally going to take care of itself from there. And I think it's a bit of a long game to play that way, but we really do have to play that way to accomplish that goal, like you said, of reclaiming the driver's seat of driving the culture. Yeah. No, I think another big thing that I'm on. This is going to be my war drum that I'm going to beat probably for the rest of my life. I don't want to see, like, I'm tired of seeing Christians and Catholics using the faith as an excuse for mediocrity. I don't like, you know, Master Samwise has been on this, is like, you know, what do Christian movies and Catholic movies and woke movies all have in common? They're all about preaching and they don't care about the story. You know, if you watch like God's Not Dead, like no atheist is going to watch that movie and go like, oh, my life has changed. No, it's just, it's not a good movie. It's not a good story. It's just preaching wearing the skin suit of a movie. And it's like, and one of my frustrations right now, that in the religious sphere, it's the Mormons who seem to be leading this charge. And now that I've said that, Ward Radio is going to like immediately appear. And, like, but $400 in super chats. So I have a potentially controversial statement. The problem most Christian media has had for the past 20 years, that's like trying to make good movies, is the same problem that we all have with leftist woke media, and that's that they sacrifice good storytelling and doing the work of earning the right to share your message through good storytelling. They sacrifice at the altar of just like pontificating and shoving it down your throat. You know, like you go to see a movie and you're like, oh, that they were like, you see a secular movie and it's like they were preaching some new far left social value, and it was so obvious that you can feel, like when it happens, a character says a thing and you're like, oh no, I know where this is going. Christian movies have felt that way for a long time, where like something cheesy gets said and you're like, oh gosh, here it comes, as opposed to telling the most beautiful story ever. Like Tolkien Tolkien's whole philosophy of story is that there is only one story, and he posits that it's the gospel. It's the most epic story ever that we're caught up in, and every good story, in a way, is a retelling of that same story, but it's just from a different part of the soup, so to speak. It's like if we literally live in the most epic story that you could possibly tell. It's the gospel, and if we're not doing it justice, then we're doing it a disservice.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, and part of that goes back to, we have to support the arts. This is okay, whatever. It's my channel, my soapbox, I guess. We need to stop being so stingy with the arts and like telling people like, oh no, you shouldn't devote time to this because you should go get a real job instead. What you're basically saying is, don't try to go influence the culture. That's for the elites in Hollywood. And yeah, I know that like it is expensive and it's gonna be uncomfortable trying to support these people, and it's not gonna be great. Um, so like, hey, if you see a project that you like, help fund it, because good art, good storytelling doesn't happen on the side. It happens whenever it's your like total focus, when you're dedicated to it, not when you have time from outside of configuring routers, and then you go home and raise your kids, and then with whatever's left over, you can work on your film or whatever.
Right.
I know Tolkien did that whenever he was first writing. Like, I think The Lord of the Rings was mostly written after his kids went to bed. But that man was also a genius, and we are not him. So, yeah.
He was insane, dude. Yeah.
But that's something that, like, as our business grows, like, I would like to help fund that. I would love to be in a position to give out grants for stuff like this.
This is kind of on topic, but kind of off topic. I think we've, you said earlier, like the whole, like, oh, stop playing with toys and go get a real job is such a misnomer. And like, just to put things in a political perspective, that's been the big killer of actual conservatism. We've been conserving like fiscal values and like pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, and like on more of like a 1950s capitalist conservatism instead of like authentic Catholic conservatism, which would conserve the arts and see the deep importance of creative work like that. And I would actually say that creativity is the most like creative work, like the arts, but just any form of creative work is both the most valuable and the most powerful work that man is capable of. In that, like, what creative people often find themselves on either end of the spectrum, either very fulfilled in their life and well monetized and doing something lucrative that has huge impact, or not valuing themselves, not being valued by others, and being the starving artist. I think that some of that's a personal mindset shift as a creative person, but I also think it's a cultural value in that if we refuse to acknowledge the absolute supremacy of creativity as it drives the culture, then whoever does acknowledge that wins the culture. And well, okay, look where we're at now. Secular modernism, particularly, Hollywood, which is pretty far and radical in their views, they have seen the value and the impact of that work, and they've taken it captive, and we've just completely ceded it to them. We being anyone that doesn't align with their values for the most part. And then we're like, whoa, how'd they get so powerful? Well, they've been feeding the imaginations of everybody. So I think I'll contend it's probably the most powerful and important human endeavor. We just think that since it isn't necessary for survival, that it's not important. And I think it might not be necessary for like getting through next week because you have to eat and have shelter, but it is necessary for the survival of humanity and society and culture.
Yeah. But obviously there's a lot of stuff that we have to get over. And I think we've got the tools at our fingertips. The cool thing about being in the Catholic Church is that we are a very united organization as long as we can rally behind each other. I mean, we have everything that we need to burn Hollywood to the ground. and this stream is so going to get demonetized. I posted in the chat. Normally, I would drop some sort of comment to like try to get people to drop a super chat or something like that. Please, 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 please do not drop a super chat in this. Instead, if you would, please, if you are able, give some money to the fundraiser that I've got down in the description. Donate some to Dom Dalmaso. When the church says that, hey, we're listening, I know it's easy to be cynical about this kind of stuff, but when the church is listening, this is our time to like step up to the mic, and we want to make sure that the best voices are getting heard. And this is our opportunity to get somebody like Dom Dalmaso, get his words, get his insight, who's a solid Catholic, very traditional. And if we can get him in front of a cardinal who's listening and looking how to figure out this digital media stuff, that's good. That's going to be a bigger impact than just like a single YouTube video. That could affect the way the church guides us, for decades. So
yeah, Dom deserves to be there way more than you or I. So
yeah, no, Dom's brilliant, and it's just like, I know his channel's not the biggest, his videos don't get the most views, but the man is brilliant. And yeah, so that please consider giving to Dom's fundraiser. I would greatly appreciate it. Do we have any final questions from the chat?
Ask
Drew,
me anything. No limits. No, I'm just kidding.
Ask us anything. It is 7:30 here. I probably need to get going soon. I probably got enough time for like 2 questions. But Drew, do you have any thoughts?
We talked about a lot
you
of
live in
stuff.
Colorado. You've already stoned out of your mind. You don't have thoughts.
I don't even live in that. I'm in the F-150 part. Like I said, we actually our town doesn't have marijuana within city limits. It's pretty great.
Oh, that's cool.
But people just go to the next town over and buy it, so doesn't stop it. But yeah, we don't do that here. No, I'm solidly in the F-150 half of the state. It's amazing. It's the best place to be. We are actively trying to secede and join Utah. Honestly, I think that could be a good move for us. That'd be pretty nice, or just start our own state. We're our friends across the mountains in Denver we don't like. So I'm sorry if anyone watching lives in Denver, but that's mutual. It goes both ways. So
will you two be wrestling to the death in July?
Yes.
Yes, if not sooner.
Yeah, the octagon will be made real. We're gonna have boxing gloves, and we're gonna, if you have beef with someone in the Catholic creative space, you'll have your chance to get your punches in at the Creator Conference.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well,
that would be kind of fun, actually. Like, imagine if, like, unofficially we had like a boxing ring.
Dude, there is legitimately like so much that would get solved in the Catholic creator space if we could just go beat the snot out of each other in the parking lot.
It's healthy. I think it's an outlet.
I mean, I would legitimately, like, if two dudes came up and they had like some serious beef, it would just be like, okay, all right, take it off the property of the St. Paul Center. Don't kick, like if you knock your man down, let him get back up again before you start hitting him, and then winner goes and buys the drinks. Like that, you know what? Because those two dudes are going to wail on each other. They're going to get up, they're going to go have a drink together, and then after that, they're going to be best friends. So,
we should bring dueling back to society.
That's
unironically. No, I'm just kidding. My money is on Kyle. Thanks, Father. Thank you for your vote of confidence.
Yeah, listen, I'm short, but I'm scrappy.
Pay-per-view for the fighting portion. Hey, that would get views. Probably the wrong kind of views, but that would get views.
Yeah, probably. But so pay-per-view. Well, I don't know if we can pay in terms of money, but we could certainly sell some indulgences. So,
discount code Luther Sucks for 25% off your indulgences.
Yeah. So
support Deuterocomical that way. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That was funny. Oh, I
Yeah,
can't
that
wait to
was
film more of those videos at the conference. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, dude, yeah, he's got a few of them already lined up.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
so ready. More of the what
dude,
did he call it? What was the name of the segment?
the
The
Inquisition.
Inquisition. Oh, so good.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
good.
cool. Well, we are
Use
about
discount code universal literacy was a mistake. We got to wrap this up. We're going to get in trouble.
wear white tank tops, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Yeah, I actually legitimately have no idea how to end this stream.